School used to be a place that I wasn't really excited about. I come from a Middle Eastern background. I don't know about you, but if you're someone who's from the East, in parts of Africa, Asia, as long as you're not concluded from the West, you would know that your parents will always want you to do your fullest, give it your best when it comes to studying, exams, and so on. And even if you like fall behind just a little bit, you would get so much shit for it, and to the point your parents would compare you to your closest ones, like cousins, close friends, doesn't matter. They would always be like, oh, look at XYZ. They got a higher grade in this subject. And for a long time, my routine would go just like this. I would wake up and I would go to school, come back, eat, study, and then repeat the same cycle every day. I wasn't really involved in outside activities because I lived so far away from my friends, and plus, my mom would make sure I give it my fullest when it comes to school. Doing all of that didn't get me to the top of my class. You know, all the comparison and all the shit that I would get in school made me less confident about myself, to the point that when I would get my certificate, even if I didn't get a really bad grade, I wouldn't tell my friends because they got a higher grade than me, and I'd be so embarrassed about it. That's how I was at school. I was just super embarrassed if I got a lower grade than my friends. And that mentality of like I always have to do better than everybody really fucked me up in a big way, because I would always just compare myself to everyone else around me, like, oh my god, I know my mom's gonna give me shit when I get back home just because my cousin did this at school and they won this achievement, you know. And especially when it comes to exams time, if you don't like get 90%, your mom will give you shit. That's how it was for me. I remember during exams when I was a kid, there were times where I wouldn't sleep just because my mom wanted me to get the best fucking grade out there. And guess what? I did not get the best grade out there. I just passed. That's all I used to get. And that's why I hated school so much from 8th grade onward. Actually, I hated school from when I was a kid, because I was told that I gotta be better than everyone else. I have to get the same grades as them. I have to put in as much hard work as they are. That's what my life was until about 8th grade, when I was opened up to a whole different world where I was surrounded by a bunch of Western people. Everything really went down to shit because I became the trouble kid. At this point, I didn't give a fuck about school. I just went to school to have fun. And to me, that was like, oh, I lived all those years living a shitty school life. Now it's time to have fun. And I remember when I was a kid, I would always pray for the day where I wouldn't have to go to school ever again. I can't wait to graduate and, like, you know, just step out of that stupid, chapter of my life. And when 8th grade came by, I just had fun at school. I remember there wasn't a day where I wasn't at the principal's office. I was fucking around way too much. I had a best friend at the time in school that I got introduced to, and me and him were like the trouble kids. Would always have fun, fight people and do things that you shouldn't do at school. And I was surprised that I didn't really get suspended. I remember my dad would tell me, like, dude, come on, like, cut the shit. Why are you at the principal's office every single day? It just doesn't make any sense. And that's also the year where my mom like kind of gave up on me in terms of studies, because she was like, oh my god, I cannot control him. I believe that was the year that I hit puberty. Like, I full on hit puberty, and she didn't really have control over me like when I was a kid. That continued till about, I don't know, 11th grade. And the lessons that I went through in school taught me two things. One, when I was a kid and being compared to all the time, that stuck around me forever. And I think that was the reason why I wasn't able to find any sort of success fast in the online space. And two was that I wasn't mature enough to, like, start a business or record a video just like this one. I was just a guy who had everything handed to him, and I took it for granted, and I thought I was invincible. Although it wasn't really my fault that I failed at school, I wasn't taking it seriously. When I when I was a kid and I would always pray for the day that I would finish school and never go back. That day came, but not like the way I wanted it to go. It wasn't like, oh, I went to school and I graduated. That's not the case. But what you should know is that my failure in school and every life lesson that I've learned to school is what brought me here today. And if I continued my life just taking everything for granted and having everything being handed to me, I would still be immature. I would still be comparing myself to everybody, trying to become way better than them. And I would always have this ego of like, oh, I'm the shit and people should get on my level. I'm the big guy. Those are the lessons that I learned. And it's not fun to go through them, but I was lucky enough to go through them, because that's like God telling me, like, dude, wake up. You gotta wake up. It's time to, take things seriously. It's time to not fuck around way too much. It's time for you to focus on yourself and not try and be like others. And those school lessons that impacted my life in what I thought was in a negative way turned out to be the reason why I made my first $10,000 in 1 month. When I started my online journey of trying to make money online, I was stuck in the shiny object syndrome that I also discussed in the last video, where I would always try new different things. But the reason for why I kept trying new different things was because I didn't want to be less than my cousins, than my friends. I didn't want to prove my family right. None of that. It was a difficult way to try and fit in everyone's expectations, aka my family and friends. It was hard not trying to compare myself to other people in the same space as me who were having success. It was hard not trying to compare myself to, other family members and friends who have high degrees and they're living a good life. And that was because from a young age, all I was really taught was to be better than everyone else, when in reality, it's fine. You shouldn't be better than everyone else. You should just be you, as long as you know what you're doing and as long as you're taking the right actions. And I got to a point where I was so fed up with life, where I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it my own way. And that's what I did to get me to where I am now, which is just being me. Just being me. It's okay not to be like everyone else. Everyone in life gets their own share of the pie. Not everyone is supposed to have the same piece. I stopped comparing myself to others. Like, you know what? If I fail, I failed. If I succeeded, I succeeded. I'm not here to please anyone but me. That's it. And instead of like trying to go down the path of doing what everyone else is doing online, I took it my own way. I was like, whatever they are doing, I'm going to completely do the opposite. And if I have failures during that process, I will happily share them and I'm not embarrassed. I'm no longer the kid who would hide his grades from other people, even though they're not bad. When I had so many failures during my online journey, I would tell my mom. And although she would give me shit, she would tell me like, Yusuf, you need to rethink your choices. She still kind of believed that I was going to make it, because she knew that I'm giving it my fullest. And when I give it my fullest, it doesn't matter what subject it is, I make it work. I make it happen. I'm not chasing perfection anymore, business-wise and personal-wise, because I think perfection is what causes a lot of people to have low self-confidence in themselves to go out and do anything. The goal itself isn't to be the best in everything, it's just to be the best at what you want to do. If you're in college, don't try and just go out and do what everybody's doing. Don't try and be the kid who wants to be cool all the time, who wants to like show off in front of girls and act like they know everything. Don't be the guy who goes out every single day and doesn't really take care of school. Because here's the thing, just because I did it my way, that means you should do it the same way. Me and you have different life paths. That's it. And another thing that I realized from school is don't try and be the guy who talks a lot. Don't be the guy who tells everybody everything you are doing and everything you want to do. Try and be the guy who's silent, who moves in quiet but shows people. Be that guy. Like I said in the last video, my family members have no idea what I do. And also be the guy who doesn't try and be every person they see online, because you're not meant to be like them. Don't think you can be better than everyone. Everyone has to do it their own way. That's it. If let's say your parents succeeded as engineers and you're someone who became an entrepreneur and became successful, you're not better than them. You just had it your own way in life. Your purpose isn't to make a lot of money. Your purpose is just to have it your own way in life. I mean, with me, for months, I was trying to start a bunch of different things because I thought I had to do it the same way as others. Everyone in school has it the same way. Study this, do this, so you can succeed in this and hopefully become that person. And then you look at the numbers, not everyone becomes the same person. Not everyone gets A+ in grades. Not everyone does that. And it's okay. What they taught you that it's not okay, and you have to be the same just like everybody else. And that's the same mentality you come with when you come into business, is that you think you have to be just like the other person who you watch online. You don't have to be like the other person. You learn the life and principles that they go by, so then you can implement them and you can do your own thing in life. You create your own thing. That's what I do. That's what I plan on doing. That's what I'm going to keep doing. I'm not being anyone else. There were many times where I wouldn't go to sleep from having panic attacks because I thought that I had to be just like the same guy I watch online. And then I came to a realization that I will never be like him and have to be my own person for me to find any sort of success, whether if it's in personal or professional. And when I took it my own way and I started to see what I have passion for, see what my expertise, my skills are, and I sold that to people instead of just trying to start any business model that comes into play, I found success. I didn't try and follow the trends. I just followed me, and I wanted to be me, and I will be me. Even if I'm not making a lot of money, even if it's not that impressive, I'll still do it because that's just who I am. I'm not embarrassed if I fail. I'm not trying to be better than my family members, nor am I trying to be better than my friends. No. Although I make good money online, I still haven't cut my friends that I knew from school. Sure, they're not people who are going out there and want to start businesses, but they're people who want to do it their own way in life. If my friend wants to, finish his studies and work as an HR, who the fuck am I to tell them oh bro, I'm not gonna be friends with you anymore. It's just it's not gonna work out. No, I'm not trying to be better than them. Sure, from a young age, I was told that, dude, look at what they are doing, try and be better than them. No. I'm going to have it my own way. I'm going to respect them for making their own choices. That's it. Don't let your favorite guru online make the choice for you. Don't let your parents make the choice for you. You make the choice for you. So what should be your main takeaway is just don't be embarrassed if you fail, and don't be way too proud when you succeed. Because at the end of the day, you're just going to have your own piece of the pie. God has already given everyone their own piece. You just have to enjoy yours. That's it. Talk to you soon.